Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ms. Shereen coming at you with a video for today. So we will be solving these three equations on slide 8, 9, 10, and answering the question on slide number 11. We might have gotten through this one in class today, but I'm just making a video because I want to make sure that it is gone through in case we don't get to it. Equation solving tool is right here. If you need to open it up for yourself in a new tab, you can click on that link, open it up, and it will easily sort of help you to go through. Remember, you hit present and you do it that way. I'm also going to be going through it here as well. So we're here at this slide number 8. And we're going to solve this guy. I have parentheses here. Parentheses mean that I can do one of two operations to get it by itself. I can do my multiplication or distribute here, or we can divide. But if you divide here, it's going to get you fractions. It's not going to be a good solution. So we're going to have to distribute here or multiply both of these pieces by these numbers that are outside. So on the left side, 3 times 1 is going to get me a 3. 3 times negative 3x. 3 times 3 is 9x. And then it is a positive times a negative, so that is a minus. Is going to be equal to 2 times negative 4. So 2 times 4 is 8x. And it's going to be a negative 2 times 7, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 14, and it's a positive times a positive, so it is plus. Okay, so now you're going to take 2 minutes right now, 3 minutes right now to solve and get your x's by themselves. So first step, you want to get your x's over to one side. Then you want to get your x by itself by doing the inverse operation. Take 3 minutes right now to try to attempt to solve this guy now. Awesome, we have another minute 45. Wonderful, wonderful. Taking another minute. Wonderful, another 32. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, awesome job, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at this guy together. Okay, so we come up here and we're on our piece of paper and we're solving, and we have to ask ourselves the question. So when we have a guy that looks like this, we have x's on both sides. Before we can figure out start to add or subtract or divide or multiply to find out what those x's are going to be equal to, we need to combine our x's to one side. And remember, we talked about when we do that, we need to make that decision based on which of our x's is smaller. So if I look at my x on my left side, I have a negative 9x. If I look at my x on my right side, I have a negative 8x. Okay? And I need to decide which one of those guys is smaller. And you might think, oh, hey, that negative 8 is. But don't get confused by that negative sign. When we're talking about negatives, the bigger the number is, if they're both negative, that one is going to be the smaller number. So we're going to be moving this guy over to the other side. And remember, when we move x's with that number attached, we need to either only do addition or subtraction, right? SUBTRACTION. Wow, Miss Shameen was really bad at spelling at that point. So we're going to move this guy over to the other side because it's a negative 9x. So if I want to move this whole thing together, I'm going to add 9x to cancel it out and move it over to the other side. And if I add x to my left side, I have to add 9x to my right side. So I'm going to grab a different color. These guys cancel out. I'm left with just this guy, which is a 3, or you can write it as a positive 3 in case you want to put the sign. Then when you add a negative 8 plus 9, grab my calculator, negative 8 plus 9. Oh no, it's not focusing for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not like one of those YouTubers where I can just go like, focus, because it doesn't focus. I don't have like a YouTube guy. So this combines to a 1x, and then my 14 comes on down, and it's a positive 14. Good. So I need to get my x by itself. So I use my reverse PEMDAS. So I need to undo my addition and subtraction first. So I need to move this guy over to the right side, the left side here. This is a positive 14, so I'm going to subtract 14 on both sides. Okay, 3 minus 14. Type it in my calculator. 3 minus 14 gets me, oh gosh, that's a 73. 3 minus 14 gets me a negative 11 is equal to a 1x. Boom. I don't even need to do that last step of divide because I have a 1x. If I divide by 1, I'm still going to get negative 11 is equal to our x. Boom. Final solution. Pause the video, write this down if you did not get a chance to do this guy on your own. Okay, now we're going to take a look at slide number 9. Okay, so I have this guy here. Oh, wait, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to move him out of the way because I don't want to get rid of him because I'm going to need him at some point. Okay, so I have this equation and we need to write it on our piece of paper and solve it. I want you to take 20 seconds right now to think. What do you think you're going to have to do first here? Two options. There are two options here. Okay, take 10 more seconds. Think about it. Okay, here we go. So there are two options of what we can do here. We can multiply or distribute this number out, this 1/2 out. We could also multiply by 2 over 1, multiply each piece here by 2 over 1, multiply by 2, multiply by 2. I think I want to distribute the negative though. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to multiply -1 times 6h, -1 times, or 3, half times -4. So half of 6 is, oh my gosh, you're right, 3h. 1/2 of -4 is, half of 4 is, oh my gosh, you're right, 2. But it's going to be a negative because a positive divided by a negative is a -2 is equal to -5h plus 1. Okay, so just like we did last time, we have to get our x's to one side, looking for that smaller x, or h in this case. I want you to take 3 minutes again to solve this guy here, and then we're going to come back together and go through it. Awesome, 2 more minutes. Awesome, awesome. Another minute 15. Another 30. Five more. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, awesome job, ladies and gentlemen. Let's come back together. So remembering that we need to move that h or that x that has the smaller value to it. So I have this guy here. I have this guy here. Which one of these is smaller? Don't get tricked by the numbers. Remember the signs. -5h is smaller than 3h. So to move this 5h over to the other side, we need to use our inverse operation, because remember, when we want to move both pieces, like for example, the 5 and the -5 and the h together, we add or subtract. Okay, so I need to move this guy over to the other side. This is a negative 5h. So to move that over to the other side, the opposite of a negative 5h is a positive 5h. Positive 5h. And I combine these two on the right cancel out. On the right, I'm left with just this 1 is equal to, okay? We're not doing anything with this negative 2. 3 and 5h combine to a 5, 6, 7, 8h. Okay? Very good. Now I need to get my h by itself here. So to get the h by itself, I need to first undo. I need to use reverse PEMDAS. Okay, and we need to undo addition and subtraction first. This is subtracting 2, so the opposite of subtracting 2 is adding 2 to each side. I have a 3 is equal to 8h. How is this 8 attached to my h? Oh my gosh, you're right. It's attached through multiplication because there's no symbol here. There's no symbol, so that means it's attached through multiplication. I undo that by dividing by 8 on each side. My suggestion to you is to keep it as a fraction, but you can do it however you want. And we can say h is equal to 3/8, or if you use your calculator, 3 divided by 8 is 0.375 or 0.375. That is your final solution for that one. Make sure you pause it and go through it again if you need assistance on it. Okay? Last one, here we go. Okay, let me move me because I'm beautiful, but I gotta see what I'm doing. Now, okay, we're looking at this guy here. I have a lot of stuff here, so I'm gonna teach you a strategy to sort of get your stuff all oh my goodness, Miss Jermaine, to organize all of your work here. So I have a lot of pieces here. So I'm gonna have to combine my like terms on each side. So I'm gonna draw on here. I'm gonna draw this little line in here because I'm not going to do anything to start with moving things across this line here. First, I'm just going to look at and I'm going to try to combine all my like terms. So that means I'm going to take my pencil, you're going to take your pencil, and you're going to put a box around all of your B's on both sides. Okay, so that means you need to include the sign that comes to the left of it. So for example, this plus sign is attached to the 6B. So I put a box around that B. Now I have a 2B here, and I have to include this negative sign here. And then on the other side of the equal sign, I have a 5B that I'm going to put a little box around as well, making sure that I keep this plus sign in there attached to that 5B. Okay, so I have all my B's boxed. Now I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to circle all of my constants or my numbers by themselves, remembering to keep that sign that comes to the left of it inside that circle. So if we look at this first one here, let me just erase this. Sorry, guys. I just got to move me down. I'm in the way. Okay, I'm going to circle this 14 because that is a constant, making sure that I keep that negative sign in there as well. I have a positive 7, and on the other side, I have a 1. Okay, so I have them boxed and circled. Now, I need to come in here and I need to say to myself, I have 14, negative 14, and I have a positive 7. If I were to grab my calculator and type that in and figure out what do they combine to, what does that equal? Negative 14 plus 7 is going to get me, I don't have my little YouTube camera, so you can't like zoom it in or like focus it. It gets me a 7. And if I combine now my two B's, I have a 6B and I have a negative 2b. 6 and negative 2, I have 6, and then I have negative 2. I have 4 b's remaining, and it is a positive 4b. Plus 4b is equal to 1 plus 5b. Okay? So I have this guy here. So I'm going to rewrite it just a little bit condenseder down here. So I'm going to say 7 plus 4b is equal to 1 plus 5b. Okay? So what I want you to do right now is I want you to take 3 minutes right now to move your smaller b over to one side. Get your b isolated by using your reverse operations, and we're going to come back together and take a look in a minute. 3 minutes. Let's go. Wonderful, wonderful. 2 minutes and 30. Taking another minute and 30. Another minute. Here we go, another 30. Okay, here we go. 3 more seconds. Fantastic. Let's take a look. Okay, so I need to move my smaller of the 2 b's. This guy's not too bad. I have a 4b and I have a 5b. Which one is smaller? Oh my gosh, you're right. That 4b is smaller. I need to move it over to the other side. Remember, we move both parts by adding or subtracting. Okay? So the way that we move these b's here is we say, I have a plus 4b. I need to move it over to the other side. What's the opposite of plus 4b is minus 4b from each side. I'm going to cancel out on my left. I'm going to be left with 7 is equal to 1 minus b. Okay? Nice. Now I need to get my plus b. Sorry, guys. I have to get my b by itself, so I need to use my reverse PEMDAS. remembering that multiplication and division and subtraction stay together. I need to undo addition and subtraction to get that b by itself. There is no sign here, so this 1 is a positive. We get rid of that positive 1 by subtracting 1, subtracting 1. B is equal to 7 minus 1 is 6. B is equal to 6. Okay? Last little bit. Pause this video if you need to look at those answers again. Let me get rid of this ink and let's look at the last question here. Last question for you today is, what does it mean to solve an equation? What does it mean to solve an equation? It means to get what by itself? To get the x by itself. Okay, and to do that, you need to use the inverse or opposite operation. Okay, so my question to you before you go is, my favorite smell is lavender. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to send me an email with answering this question. What is your favorite smell? I have to say mine is lavender by far. Some people might like Axe body spray. Some people might like strawberries or apples or the smell of turkey. Whatever is your favorite smell, send me an email with it in there. Perfect. So your last bit of work for this afternoon, you need to give me 10 minutes of time on your ALEKS path. If you finished your ALEKS path, if you did not finish your knowledge check, you need to get that done first. Send me an email with the answer to the question and then take 10 minutes of ALEKS time. Reach out to me if you need any help with anything. Awesome job today. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.